slam somebody into a wall. The lockdown sign synergy, I think, was the biggest thing there for the squad. So we're going to head into our second map pick. It is going to be Supernova once again picking a map that could snowball. They won the early game on Cursed Hollow, but weren't able to snowball it. Now they're looking for a similar map type in Sky Temple. Let's see if they can make it happen.
Absolutely. You'll want to notice that Tempest also banned not Volskaya, but Braxis.
Braxis, yeah.
That is definitely a snowball map if I've ever seen one. So you might think, hey, if that was left open, maybe that would be where Supernova would go to. But Sky Temple, kind of the same idea. Let's see if it works out. I'm really excited because if Supernova is a team that can take those early advantages, maybe it's one that can, this can be a game where they do get that and snowball it into a win. I'm hopeful, but I'm not optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we'll have to take a look at the draft and see how they execute it. I think they'll need to rely more on, or they may have to rely more on either all-in on the team fight or all-in on the globals comp, because theirs was kind of half and half. They had good initiation with the Anubarak, for example, and the Karazim, like on paper, with Dahaka having the ability to flank. But every 7-sided strike for Alex was like onto 5 people and doing no damage and was used mostly as a survival tactic. So we'll see the Abathur ban again.
Yeah, not really going to change anything too much here. I think last time Supernova banned Phoenix first, but we probably will see them ban that again. This should be either a Urel or no, choosing to ban that Dahaka.
Yeah, forcing them off the globals. And this will probably just be the Phoenix you mentioned. Unless they really want to first pick that, since the Dahaka is gone. It's a safe DPS that gives you a lot of opportunities. Phantom will be good on that as well. It's one of his better heroes, so Falstad ban, so they can just grab the Phoenix if Tempest leaves it open.
I mean, I would expect Tempest to kind of realize that. I mean, they could always go for like a safe Malfurion. They just want to take that one down. I don't know, I feel like giving Phoenix away, or even maybe a Karazim, no, it is going to be the Phoenix. So that should be, now that that's taken away from Supernova, they don't have the Dahaka. Could always go for a Karazim, but I mean, 7-sided, when you talk about using 7-sided for its survivability and not for its damage, what it kind of looked like, they'll go for Malfurion instead.
Are they going to take something like a Maiev here? No, they're going to go for Venthem's Hanzo once again. So this is a comp that is really good for safe drafting because Malfurion works well with everything. Hanzo works well with most things, and Hanzo's incredible for boss control on this map and boss clear time. Plus the Siege Giant camp times where, especially if they get Anubarak again, you can invade and you can do a lot with that. You can play around controlling the bot lane. And Karazim goes to the other side with the Blaze, so unless banned here, I think Supernova will yet again get that Anubarak. The question becomes, how does the rest of the draft shape up? They banned the Falstad because with the Dahaka ban, they didn't want to allow Tempest to take total global control, because those are the really only 2 relevant globals in the meta.
Where's my Brightwing, man?
Yeah, not going to happen. Not today.
The Thrall ban, I think this is the same kind of situation where we saw it banned before, but it's still kind of surprising to me.
It works well with Phoenix, obviously, because of the way Salvo works, and it's really good to set up nice engages. And they're hoping really, really strongly that they can get the Anubarak, I think. Urel is banned, so they can lock that in now.
You know, Rainer's still open at this point.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit questionable to me when or if teams even want to pick it, just because it has been so volatile. Not something you can guarantee a win with by any means.
They don't have a lot of guaranteed slows to empower Ace in the hole just yet in this comp. They will take the Junkrat instead and Muradin. So completely, they're going 110% all in on temple control and boss control with this. With the Muradin pick, the Junkrat that has great consistent damage and displacement. They want to snowball this map. They want to get 10 first. They want to get the boss. They want to crush the objective and just get an early keep so that Tempest has no recourse, no way back into the game. They're going all in on this kind of idea here, but it's super non-meta. I mean, to see Junkrat on this map, you know, in the later part of this first stage of phase 2 is kind of crazy, you know, on this map specifically.
Yeah, we saw Rich pull out Junkrat on Sky Temple in their Unlucky series versus Miracle, and you know, he becomes kind of semi-global once he gets Ripper Air.
Yeah.
And he bounced himself into a chain CC or something. That
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was hilarious. He's bouncing around. You're like, wow, we get it. You're super cool. And then he just gets one shot. And you're like, oh, and he kind of through the game because of that. So that looked a little bit rough here. I hope this time goes a little bit better for No Chat. But yeah, it's been a mixed bag when it comes to Junkrat on Sky Temple.
Well, the Leoric pick is going to be for the combo with the Arrow Riptire as well, so you can Entomb into Arrow or Arrow into a Tomb. Both are possible. Habin, so he's not going to have a good time on this Murd, and he looks pretty, like, he looks pretty down. It almost looks as if he's already lost the series.
Aww.
But you have Entomb into Arrow, Arrow into a Tomb, either way. Then you have Riptire on top of that, and tons of damage coming up from Scatter Arrow into the Entomb, the Junkrat AoE damage. There's a lot of things you can do when you hit that 10 spike, you snowball the game. If Tempest gets 10 first, wins any early fights, it is going to be a very, very, very uphill battle for Supernova. If Tempest hits 10 first, they're going to have 7-sided strike plus Diablo plus Bunker. Like, you won't be able to control that boss anymore. Your comp won't be able to function well. You're not going to be able to invade camps anymore because Bunker's going to counter you. And Tempest comp works well in those scrappy situations post-10 so much better than yours does. Tempest 12-2 on the map versus a winless record for Supernova at 0-4. It feels like the cards are stacked against them. They're going to have to make this early game comp work. They're going to have to snowball this.
Indeed they will. Contention for Vision Control up top is going to go for Tempest. And look at that engage! Holy cow, Sign just going ham! And that is going to give an early first blood to Tempest. I think we know what the rest of this game is going to look like.
I mean, No Chat's way too far out. He thinks his concussive mind's going to save him. It's not.
No. Like I said, I think we know what this game is going to look like. Wow,
yeah.
What a way to start.
I mean, Sign is he's just not willing to ever hesitate. Like, he has trust in his teammates to follow up. So even though he's putting himself into extremely dangerous situations to make these charges happen, fall damage is there. Like, it feels like the second that Sign charges in, the orb and the magic missiles are like already on their way just behind him because there's just that much faith. Like, everyone on Tempest knows when Sign says, I'm going, you follow and you look for those kills. So Supernova in a nasty deficit here already, and as we're talking about what this is designed to do as a snowball, when things are snowballing against you already, it's going to be a bad time.
Look at Sign. He's waiting just barely off to the side. Oh, Bentham. Oh, Bentham. Oh, gets knocked out of the air.
Perfect play from Lockdown.
How do you... Oh, this is just too good, Wolf. I mean, sure, Bentham survives, so maybe a moral victory there. But, like, let's just be real. He's getting pounded, and it doesn't look very good. Literally up against the wall there in the bottom sided. He just can't move away. He can't move out into his lane. He's paralyzed.
Yeah, it's... I mean, he survives, like you say, and there's always a... Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a surviving hero, there's a way, I guess, to rotate to another lane, try to find something else. But camp control to Tempest. They're grabbing that bottom cannon tower already. Leaving such a good sieging hero. Look at how the lane swap is so late as well for Supernova. Like, they sent Leoric down here so late, which meant that Li Ming is able to do a lot. And normally when you have a lane swap like this, you need to have a ranged hero to match Li Ming, because in this solo lane, the Leoric can't hit the Li Ming. So, sure, Li Ming has bad wave clear, so that's, I guess, the... I want to say silver lining, but it's not even really for Leoric. But, like, as you can see in the bot lane, if you're watching the minimap, it's not going well for Leo.
Indeed it's not. And actually, Li Ming is kind of zoning him out.
This
Going
is an
in
opportunity.
now, actually, on to Dami. He is very vulnerable and does go down. It's Malfurion with the last hit, but a big pick off for Supernova.
Yeah, that was a nice little collapse there. They did make that work out very well. So
now, if they can't have temple control, they're trying to go in for vision control, but even that is going to be difficult. Hyde's had about a half health, so he does need to be careful. Kirisaku fighting back for control of that temple. And we talked about how this comp is really designed for Supernova to just go all in on that control.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. I mean, no chat's concussive mines can get you a pick in like 2 seconds if you actually get the right grab on the right hero. You can also harass a lot, then look for a hard engage with your Muradin. But if you step too far forward...
Oh, Sign's going in again. You know what that means.
If you step too far forward when you're 2v3, and really almost 2v4 because, you know, Lockdown was so close by on the Li Ming, like, you're going to find yourself in some of these threatening situations you don't want to be in. So Junkrat dies. Tempest is running away with this early game. They're going to get 10 first. They're going to be the ones that are posturing for a boss play. And so we have to wonder, like, what is Supernova's comp going to do to come back? It's not a comp that can't win team fights, but if Tempest gets 10 first, they're going to take boss. They're going to take a structural lead. They're going to play passively, defensively. They're not going to let those combos happen. Supernova wants 10 so they can make that boss play to snowball it, where the Tempest just can't contest them. That's what they wanted.
Oh, Sign actually misclicking there. Does get in range, but doesn't get the CC down onto Kirisaku. That minion just had a really bad day that Sign engaged on. But
yeah. I mean, he might have been blocked as well had he clicked on it, the arc, because of the timing of Kirisaku's Wraith Walk. But either way, like, unfortunate, you know, but great for Supernova. They live to rotate another day here. It's a close call. Kirisaku back up in the top lane now, dueling Dami. You can see the Karzim rotation up, going to threaten him, but meanwhile, Supernova is going to, I think, try to make a big push down here to maybe even kill the healing fountain. They have to do something. They have to hard engage before 10. They have to find a crack in Tempest's armor here, find a crack in the defenses somehow, some way. Habian's positioning is good for them to try to shove this into the cannon towers, but they just can't do it. The rotation comes down too quickly. At least this buys some space for Kirisaku to get a wave. But if things just continue even like this, I mean, look, already Sign's got his souls completed. If things just continue evenly, then they get 10 first. They make the boss play first. They're even going to get his healing well.
Yeah, it's pre-6 minutes. Sign is unreasonably tanky at this point. If he goes in, even if it doesn't result in a kill, which it almost always does, he's going to survive, and he's just going to be such a huge front line. And for Supernova, they're the team that wants... Okay, well, that was a weird interaction, but still gets the flip onto no chat. He might not be chatting for much longer. No, he is out of there.
Knockdown is able to blink away, teleport away as well there, dodge the Stormbolt, and they just walk away with a kill. This should be a boss play, but they may just want to get this fort first. Like, the sky's the limit as to what Tempest could do with this lead now.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to take camps. They're going to take, I guess not really in position for anything but the middle fort. It will go down. For Tempest, they have a 2-level lead. Well, I guess more like 1, but more importantly, they have the objective lead. They will be in control of that bottom temple.
If they started boss, they'd be finishing it around now while Supernova has 10s, and Supernova does have the better boss fight comp. This is part of what we were talking about in the draft. So they decided to just take this neutral, or rather solo temple here. Look for an even fight, 10v10s here. Then if they win this fight, go for the boss, but they're stunned. Here's the APOC.
Going in. Nice APOC there. Good. Trying to reposition, and he is actually caught there by Kirisaku. Kirisaku does go down, but he's only undead for a little bit. The rest of his team trying not to be in that same form as they look for the disengage. Good. A little bit behind the rest of his team, who are charging forward, looking for an engage. Sign. Can't hit the overpower. So no catches just yet. Haven not too scared of good. Hyde coming up there, and now Tempest will back off.
Okay, they're going to look for the re-engage here. Haven coming in. Stun comes in.
Yeah, Kirisaku back up. Barely surviving there. Dami makes it out alive. Haven not quite so lucky. He will get taken out along with Kirisaku.
Okay, so it was a good idea, a good concept here to re-engage. Heavily commit there, but unfortunately it backfires. Hyde dances on this temple, hoping the Observer will catch him.
Good job, Observer.
The top camp does, with during all the action where Supernova was drawing all of the attention away, get the top forward. And that's actually a pretty big win for Supernova, given how far behind they are. That feels nice that you're able to at least grab something. You know, you're able to at least accomplish something with this aggression. It definitely didn't end up being a positive trait for them. It was like, oh, okay, well, we died a lot, but the camp made it worth it. No, but at least they have something they can walk away with saying, well, we got this macro aspect. And Tempest still hasn't been able to take a confident boss fight because, again, they don't have the comp that's better for boss. They have the bunker, which is going to make it easier. 7-side strike makes it easier. But they're not going to take the boss fight until they're sure they can. So there's still an opportunity for Supernova to try to do something risky like they just did on Cursed. Take the boss fight down a talent tier, something like that, if they feel they have enough vision to make such a play. With Hanzo, the boss disappears very, very quickly, so you can try to make risky boss plays happen with a composition like this.
Oh, but gotta watch out. Sign having another very scary engage. The overpower, even though it flips in the opposite direction, it's still more than enough damage. No jet.
Tommy's coming in for the blink!
And look at Tommy! A jet propulsion into another pick, and even though Alex does get a nice little cheeky dodge, I think Hyde and Lockdown have his number here. Trying to escape that. Wow, I guess he does. So a good escape there, but
Tranquility going to help keep him alive. But finally, Tempest gets the boss. And, you know, that was just really good engage. They had the overpower to the Leeming combo, to the reset. Dami gets the flank. 7-side strike gets the first kill.
They still had that talent advantage from 13 as well. And this really just has to be the nail in the coffin for Tempest. Finally, their only seemingly weakness remaining, that boss fight that they weren't confident in earlier, they take it down, they win the team fight before it, and it just looks like, I mean, they're going to go
I mean, like, let's be honest, like, this boss doesn't end the core, and Tempest can't kill the core with this temple phase, so, like, in the most technical sense, like you said, this is the last nail in the coffin, like, the core isn't going to go down right now, but in terms of the comps in this game and, like, what Supernova is able to do now, down 3 levels nearly, this game is over, indeed. And Supernova's comp was supposed to snowball. So if they're able to make a comeback happen here, it would be a crazy miracle. We already had that series earlier. So
that is true. It's a good reference, though, just for how miraculous the comeback would have to be for Supernova.
I mean, Incredible Miracle was a StarCraft 2 team. I don't know if it's happening here. But again, caught by Sign.
God. Sign's engages are just insane this game. It's the same kind of Leeming setup we saw in Game 1, right? You almost just assume where the damage is going to be needed, and you just put it there ahead of time. Oh, Haben. Oh, Haben. They sniffed him out, and Sign just punches him to death in the end.
So they got a boss, and they got both of all the temples. And
I don't know how many advantages you can really assign to Supernova at this
point. They didn't get a keep yet, but they're working towards it. But yeah, Sign's engages have been good, but I feel like more than Sign's engages is just how well Tempest follows up on them. They're always ready, and they always trust that he's going to get that Shadow Charge. He's missed a few, but they were in not so important moments.
Right.
But look, again,
okay,
it's a kill. That time he did it by himself, because he's got the combo now, he's got full build. But I mean, this game is unfortunately just going to end with an unhappy ending if you're a Supernova fan. We're going to watch Sign again knock Alex into danger. Tranquility to try to keep him alive. Ice Block just delays the inevitable.
Yep, Alex is out of there. And with his death, so goes the death of that bottom keep. It will go down. There is no stopping it. This talent tier advantage along with a massive lead when it comes to coordination, their ability to execute Tempest. They're going for core.
Well, Stun going to come through here. Haben's going to try to go for one last ditch attempt to slow this down. The Riptire will do some extra damage, but the bunker comes up here. Doesn't block the Riptire damage, but it's going to give some extra sustain. That's Kirisaku dead. Hyde finds himself in an awkward spot, but does get the dash off. The Siege Giants are helping to hit this core. There's another kill here.
I mean, every Shadow Charge is a death at this point.
Pretty
Sign
much.
is just on fire. And the rest of his team, their ability to follow up is just flawless at this point. I mean, the core does survive for maybe a little bit longer, but look at even the disengage here for Tempest. They're very low health bars. Sign finally does fall in the end, but that is truly a moral victory
Does
here.
Hyde kill Bentham? He almost did.
Wow.
And they are going to get this core down here. Hyde and Dami and lock down the last second. GG. Indeed. Well, this is one where you sit back in your chair and you say, well, this team was not with this roster once a world championship team, but they have been top 3 in Korea consistently. No one has been able to dethrone them, and it's not us tonight.
Yeah.
This poor Haben has been a very emotional player throughout the season. I think he feels he's destined for more, and I think that he deserves a lot more than what he's been given this season. He's been a great tank player, but if you compare him to Sign directly, Sign has been the more confident tank player. He has not hesitated. His team has been following up, and Haben can only do so much.